I feel like I'm well qualified because I was a councilman for 8 years, and I've been mayor for 10 years, and I'm still in good health, and I would like to run again because, like all other mayors, sitting mayors, we've always got a project we want to finish before we leave. We have a program right now on replacing all of our water lines, and we've got the money for it. And I'd like to be there at least until that's over with, which is going to take about 6 months. And anyhow, and I have, the reason I say I'm well qualified, I went to the municipalities, League of Municipalities, for schooling for 8 years, which is only 40 hours a year in that, but we done it in 10-hour session each year. And I do have a certificate of, the first certificate of being a legal officer, and also I went the next 4 years and got the certificate, the second certificate. So I feel like I'm well qualified. Thank you.
Well, I kind of asked that question myself, but I've had some citizens come to me, and you know, I feel like if we are going to participate in the town, or if we deal with the town or talk with the town, we need to put it in action. And I don't have no qualifications whatsoever as mayor, but I am a businessman. I've been a businessman all my life. That's all I know. I've had several successful business. My wife has. We still have a successful business and a mission within itself. And I feel like that we're there to serve the people, to listen, to do what the town needs or what the town can prosper or bring forward. We seem to be in a moment of stillness in Garden City. I'm sure Mayor Davis has done a lot, and he still does a lot, and he's run a wonderful town, but somehow or another we need to move forward. We need some industry, we need some businesses. We don't seem to have enough going on, I guess you could say. I feel like that even Vinemont or Dodge City or whatever is getting ahead of us, and we kind of need to keep up. And if we're not careful, we may be overrun by Hanceville. Thank you. But, you know, it's just up to the people's choice right now. It's up to what they choose and what they want. And I have no complaints with the mayor at hand. But I just feel like we need to move forward. And to do that, we need to put it in action. Thank you. Well, now, Mayor Davis will have to answer that. I have no idea how much we got or where we're going because I didn't feel like that was any of my business. But if I'm elected, we'll find out. And yes, that was just what I got through mentioning, that we need to go forward with the future to have more income, to have more businesses and more money coming in, more revenue. And like I said, I've had no complaints with the things that's been done and the way the things are done, but Mayor Davis will have to answer the question about the financial thing, but we have been sound, and I feel like we are sound, and he does a wonderful job that what goes on. But like I said, we need some kind of businesses, we need some kind of industry to bring more in. We only have a couple of thriving businesses down there, and I don't know if that's thriving or not, but we will be, have been, and going to be again. Thank you.
As far as the financial situation, you know, things has went down the last few years, and we are sound. We're out of debt. We don't owe one dime to anybody. We have got backup money in case of emergency, but that ought not to be spent. It's not all that much. And if we have a breakdown, we must use that. We don't have no other source. We try to stay out of debt. We don't want to borrow money. We're not going to if I'm down there. And I think that We've done a wonderful job, us and the council, but not just me, the council and our employees, our clerk. Everybody's done a wonderful job in helping to maintain our budget. I think we're going to be in the black this year, which is, we was afraid we wasn't, but the next 2 years is going to be critical. And anyone who don't know a finance problem right now shouldn't come in there and start spending money because it's not there to spend. And it would be a disaster to do that right now. But I'm going to do just like I've always did, best I can do with what I got where I'm at. And we have done that. We have kept the town clean. And as far as getting businesses in there, we have tried every avenue that we could think of. And grocery stores have surveyed the place. They say there's not enough volume to allow them to come in there and build a building. And anyhow, I'll do the best I can with what we got, and I'm sure our employees will be too, and thank you. Well, I believe I made that statement before. I have got schooling in municipality training, and since I've been mayor for 10 years, and I have worked in a machine shop and run the department for 30 years, which is a multi-million-dollar department, and I'm not scared of finances as long as I see. You got to look what's coming in and what's going out, and you better be careful, because I know I've dealt with it, and I was a leader in the industry of tool making, which is precision tools, and it was very expensive. You had to be careful. And I just feel like I've got the skills to remain the mayor. And I think I'm in good health enough to finish another 4 years at least and get what we are looking at several little options we got in mind, but we've got to first figure out how we're going to maintain it if we get them. So that is one of the things you've got to do too. If you get a center of some kind, you've got to figure out ahead of time how you're going to keep it up. And it's like the stuff we got, we've tried to get grants that would pay for everything, and maybe even if we have to just pay part of it. But we try to stay away from the grant. The last one we got the full amount, so we're doing real good with our grant dealings with. And I thank you.
I got a big mouth. I'm not afraid to use it. I had a car lot for several years, and I'm real good at selling. And, I just feel like that we can get out and we can sell the town. Sell it to somebody to enough that they would be interested in coming in. And I'm not disagreeing with Mayor Davis on the businesses. I know the business is slow, but I do have several connections. I have several friends, and I got good friends in high places and low places. First off, Mayor Townsend is my first cousin. Kenneth is a good friend of mine. I have an accountant sitting back there in the back, I believe, somewhere, that's advising me and telling me what all I can do and can't do, and he knows the ropes. And it's not exactly what I know, it's what my friends know, the connections I've got, but I am willing to go with strength and wisdom to bring in, and most important, to keep it united and keep the town a clean town like Mayor Davis has done. He's done a wonderful job. And we are a spiritual town, and I would like to keep that among the council, among the people, and I'd like to be a servant to them, not be served. I'd like to be a servant to them, listen to them, open mind, open heart, and a willing opportunity to move forward, like I said once before. Thank you. Well, that's another one of them, what do you call it, critical questions, and one of them that got two answers to it. I'd have to study more on it. I'd have to learn more about it, what codes, what sections they are. Everything has got codes and sections, and we got laws and bylaws, and you do not jump into the middle of a question without knowing something. So I'm going to have to not decline, but to say that I need to study more on it, and once I studied and got the correct directions, I would make a decision for the town or not for the town. Plus, I'm not the only one to make these decisions, but everything has to be brought forward with the codes and bylaws and the sections of the township and the countyship, and it's got to be studied. Everything has to be studied to a point of understanding, and mostly that's what I wanted to bring forward was the understanding to learn and to know, and so I'm not going to jump in and say yeah or no or forget it. So that's a question that needs to be studied before we bring it to a close.
Well, that's one of the things that I have been looking at. I mean, I've heard a lot about it and I've read about it. In a way you look at it, it might help, in a way it might not. So I really don't have opinion on that, because it's one of them things you can't hardly tell what's going to happen when you do, and when you do pass something like that. But I don't know if there's any other way for us to get any more taxes. I'd be happy, because on our census this time we had about 75 people missing, and it cut our budget down quite a bit. It amounted somewhere between, well, all of it together, I imagine between $35,000 and $40,000 a year, and that hurts a small town. And I know what our finances are, and I know what to be kept at, and we've got to look real careful as we spend that money, and only spend it what we need it for. But as far as that tax is concerned, I really not got that much deep into it, so I wouldn't know really if that would help or not. So thank you. Three things I hope to accomplish. One is, and I'm pretty sure of it, is to finish our water 100%, and we'll have some of the cleanest and best water around once it's completed. And because we got a lot of little iron pipes in the ground we need to get out or labor the side of it, some PVC. We have a lot of problems with that, and I'd like to see us get to where we don't have to go out every day hunting for a leak that's busted and wasting water. And that will do the trick once we get that in there, and that's going to take another 6 months. We've got it on the move, and I'm pretty sure it's going to happen within 6 months. We should start it within a month or two. That should start that. And the other thing is just keep going like we're actually going, which is maintaining our money, maintain our people that work for us. We got some of the key workers in our city that's really good. We got 2 maintenance persons that does the whole city itself. We own the sewer department, and the water department, and things like that, and they keep it all up, just the 2 guys. And it's taken a lot of time, and of course we've got a mighty good clerk that takes care of a lot of stuff, that knows what she's doing. She knows a lot of legal, and if you're about to ring that bell, thank you.
Well, I'm going to have to agree with the mayor there. Our water system has definitely needs to continue the work that's been done. My father used to fix the pump down there, so I'm kind of familiar with the water thing. That he used to go down there at night, and I'd go with him. We fixed that old well pump and all that stuff back years ago, and as far as I know, that thing has not been improved a whole lot since then. So yes, the water thing is number one. Number two is exactly what it says, the maintaining of the town that is doing a good job. Those are done. The only thing I see different for us is to push for something to come in. We have the land. I don't know the situation. It's got to be a lot of studying done, but there's a lot of strength there, and I just feel like I can travel and I can talk and I can sell. And like I said once again, Hansel better watch out because I'm gonna get some of what they've been getting. So I hope Kenneth and them ain't out there, but you know, we just need to maintain what's been going on with a fine mayor. Just that we need to push forward, and that's what I'm willing to do is push forward. I believe I answered that a while ago that we're a very Christian town, and I can't say I think our neighbors can handle that stuff. They got the law enforcement, and I think we need to maintain exactly where we are. So that ain't the kind of forward I'm talking about moving forward to. I'm talking about, you know, good businesses, good industries, and stuff like that. Alcohol, what they do and how they do it. Now, Coleman has done wonderful with it, and for what I understand, Hansel's doing good with it. But they're set up for it, they're doing it, and we can, right now, we can live without it. So that's my point of view on that.
As far as the alcohol situation, I don't know if Coleman County will come in or not, and I don't know exactly whether we could keep it out of Garden City, but if we could, I would. Put it that way. I don't think it helps that much. I don't think they give the reports on all the stuff that goes on with alcohol, because I've seen stuff happen in places where they sell it today, and I never see it in the papers. But if it's something good comes up, they tell us how much profit they make. And I just, it disgusts me sometimes. I was raised up in a family that we had some alcoholics in it. I've never drank in my lifetime, and I just don't believe it's beneficial at all. You may get more taxes, stuff like that, but Garden City would probably benefit a little bit off of it. We don't have a police force. And we'd have to call the county to do all our police work, but that's going to cost the county. And as far as alcohol, there's no way keeping it out as far as that goes. If the county goes wet, we're just going to have to write an ordinance that's going to be pretty tough on somebody to come in there, but we can't keep them out by law. They'll come in there if they see it's a place that they can make some profit on, but they're going to have to pay the full amount of taxes. I don't mean to scare nobody off now. But anyhow, what else was it? Was that just the alcohol thing? Well, that's all I got on the alcohol. Thank you. Do I stay here? Well, the Chambers of Commerce is a great organization. I thank them for what they are doing. As far as Garden City, we don't have nothing elaborate for them to come to. But I'll tell you, I was a member on the board up there, and they do a lot of good work. I mean, real good work for the whole county. And it would help Garden City too. I think Chambers of Commerce is something that we must keep. Let everything else go, but keep the chambers. It's a good thing. And what else can I say about it? I mean, they're perfect. And as far as what else can they do to help Garden City, I think they're doing just about all they can do to help us. We need to help them a little more, but more of us join it. But none of much is here, I don't think. Okay.
Well, my understanding of the chambers is to kind of do what I was talking about. Well, go is move forward with business. I think that that's one of their jobs is to sell, and if we can come up with some kind of offer, if they can come up with some kind of plans, we need to work together. This whole organization, Garden City and the chamber and places like that, and the council in the town, people don't understand that you have to work together. There's no one person can point and say, hey, do this or do that. And if everybody can come together in unity and come together in the spirit to work together, it will thrive, and each one would improve. And any kind of help Garden City can get is very appreciated, and the same with y'all. Any kind of help that we can do, and the working relationship is one of the greatest things that can be, and that's where we need to understand that is the working relationship with the county, with the cities, our neighbors, that whoever they are, that if they got something to offer, grab it, and if we got something to offer, we'll hand it to you. And just the unity of the county and the cities within itself working together. And that's what makes the nation in a whole. So we need to be proud of our chamber. We need to be proud of Garden City. We need to be proud of each thing that we do in both sections. And working together is the answer to it. Seems like we done been through that. I guess one of the main things, the greatest need is the water. Second greatest need is continue, and it's not a need, it's continue with the what we have done as far as maintaining the town and maintaining City Hall and maintaining our financial situations. And but once again, and I'm going to keep repeating it because that's what I stand on, is to move forward with whatever we can, however we can, and just continue the fine work that's been done. The only thing that I see different is a little more action, a little more ability to bring in the unity, bring in the something. I don't know what. I have no idea. I'm just telling you, I ain't got no idea. But I'm willing to go, and I'm willing to push forward with whatever I can get. And that old saying is that a lot of people owe me favors, and I owe them a lot of favors, but I'm going to be calling some of them in. So I just feel like that some way, somehow, we can move. We can move because we're a fine town, but we seem to be just still. And if we can change the tires and get rid of that flat tire and go, we're going, you know. So my motto is go, go, go. Thank you.
Well, that's a hard thing to answer, the way the money situation. You know, we can't do nothing hardly right now. And I don't know how to get, but I'm looking at about the next 2 years is going to be rough on us financially. And we're not going to be able to do very much except maintain what we've got going and maybe and get out there and work for those grants, which I do. I mean, we don't let our grass grow under our feet. We get every one we can. And that's about what we can do. And if we could possibly get anything like a little cafe or something down there, I'd jump at it in a minute. But it seems to be that finances of other people that could run something like this, that they just don't have the finance to put it up. And I have thought about if I'd get out maybe and can invest and get people to buy stock in something other than build it. Just let the people build it. And let everybody own some of it, and let them come there and eat if it's a restaurant. But I don't know how that would work either, because we got a lot of retirees in Garden City, not making very much money. And but I tell you, it's been God blessed with things that has got and what we went through and everything. We've got 2 beautiful little parks that people can visit now. We got main storm shelters, which we've had for 3 years now that nobody else has had, and we've had a lot of people come and go out of those things during the storm. And I think such as that has improved Garden City quite a bit, and I appreciate it. Thank you. Well, I hope to see it have that something has happened. Something would happen and cause it to start growing. We need what we need actually, if we could get it, is small businesses, because we're landlocked for one thing, and a big business wanted to come in there, they couldn't. We'd be glad to have them, but we've got no land to put it on. But we have got room for small businesses. And that's one thing I'd like to see start happening in the next 4 years, because I don't figure on running another 4 years. Even if I get this one, I'll be doing well probably. But other than that, staying as is probably about as close as you can see it. If you look down the road, because I'm old enough to know that I've been through so many changes in government that can happen in 3 or 4 years. Something don't happen overnight. It takes 4 and 5 years, and it's like the slump we're in now. Since this nation and all the rest of the world is any kindly in together on economic things, that's the reason this recession is going to be hard to get out of. If the rest of the world don't, we're not. As plain as that, because we've got too much stock in other parts of the world. And if the whole world turns around, we're not going to turn around very much. That's the way I see it, and I'm not running for president either. Thank you.
You want some fantasy, or do you want the truth? Well, what I'd like to see is a little more prosper, a little more business and industries and stuff like that. Anything that we can do and how. But right now, if I get in there, it's going to take the first year or two just to figure out who, where, why, and how I'm in there and things like that. But yet, we want to move forward, and I will promise to maintain the town as Mayor Hardin has. And so if we don't improve in the industrial or business-wise, the town will be maintained the way it has been. And like the mayor says, we will maintain Garden City, and it'll be what it is. But somehow, some way, I have a feeling that we can move forward. And if I get in there, I hope that you may not even get me out till I turn my toes up. So we had one mayor there 30-something years one time. So I'm not saying I'm flashed that long, but before it's over, I think Garden City can thrive again and come back, but it goes back to the nation within itself and the major election that's coming up and things that may change and things that will change. And if it does, we're going to get on the bandwagon. If it don't, we're going to pull the bandwagon. So we're going to go forward, just like I say. We're going to go, and we're going to prosper, and we're going to do something. That's the goal. And I hope to see that in 4 years, 8 years, I hope to see it. Boy, that's real easy. Regulations. I think I brought it up once before, section 1143-81, sections 1141-84 through 120. All the regulations and bylaws and things like that, our hands is tied. One of the biggest things I see is that we've took religion out, we've took Christianity out of the city halls, the schools, and everywhere else. If we could bring it back, and if we could work in unity, the biggest thing we have is state separation between church and state and all the regulations we have. And it's probably good. We got to have some kind of regulation. We got to have some kind opportunity to guide and to hold us back. And you can see what's happened in the last couple of years with the mayors and stuff like that. But somehow, some way, if we could push those bylaws and go up to the edge of those bylaws and those sections and all those little sections, it takes a genius, a lawyer, to even figure out what some of the sections says. And a lot of them double talk, and a lot of them will kill Section 43 or kill Section 42, and your hands are tied with regulations. And also in Garden City, our hands is tied with land and with money and with stuff like that. But that, that's just something that we have to go forward with and work it out. And I believe in studying. I believe in figuring out what's right, what's wrong, and how come, and what for, and have an answer to each one of those. So that's what I base my philosophy on.
Well, one of the things, keeping up with regulations that they put out is a big thing, but you can do it. It's in a way, it's simple. Just do it. Don't worry about it. You have to follow the rules and regulations. But it's kind of difficult sometimes when you start to hire somebody, you can't get nobody but your kinfolks. And you better not do that. We just experienced that here a while back. Not us, another little town. And what can happen? And, you just can't, if you want something done, one of the big things is regulations that you have to go through. It's like getting permits and things. It's terrible. You send something down there, and it seems like the state sits on it for weeks and weeks, but they won't answer the next day when they send you a little something else. And anyhow, it's difficult for us to follow big town regulations, but we are grouped in a small town category, so we're not like the city. We can get the mayor can vote and all of that in our small town, and that is. I like that part about it, because sometimes we don't have a quorum. I can vote. But, well, my time is up. Thank you.
Well, I throwed my hat in the ring, and I had no idea what I was getting into. And our clerk up there, I come in at 4 o'clock. She stayed late and helped me, and she rattled off some stuff I had no idea. And I went to Lisa Patterson up there, and she rattled off a bunch of stuff. But I went home and I went to studying. And I've read and I've studied everything, and when I read something, it comes back to what the ladies told me and guided me through. And that's what I want to base my campaign on, is what I want to base my mayorship on. But we need to understand that the mayor has not got a right to go in and just say this and say that and do that. It has to be a unity to work with the council, and the council, each one has got a job, and the mayor is like a CEO of a company, or he's like a coach of a team, and this team has to have a coach or somebody to guide them, but yet that coach has to be willing, and the team is the one that gets out there and butt heads and do the hard work. And the mayor's kind of, I guess he's just a pencil pusher, a fall guy. But if we got an opinion, we have to present that opinion. And the main thing that I see, and the main thing that I've studied and read, is the unity. Once again, the unity of the town, the council, and the people, and the opportunity to serve the town and listen to the town and to bring forward with what they got to say, and just to be a servant of the people and to work with the council within itself. And as far as I understand, we've got a salesman, we've got a businessman, and we've got an educator, and I'm a businessman, and I don't see why this town can't work together and move forward with the council that we're going to have, or the council that we've got. and I appreciate it.
I feel like I've got the education and experience to still yet make a good mayor for Garden City. People that I have worked and worked with, we have been well qualified against each other. We've never had no trouble. We have a council meeting. There's never argument or nothing. If one disagrees, that's fine. Nobody says nothing. Two disagrees. In fact, the matter if a majority disagrees, nobody else says anything. We go right ahead. And I think it'll keep running that way if I'm there, because I always said in my work outside of this being mayor, if people can't get along in my department, they're going to have to move. And, of course, it's not that way in the city. You can't make a move. So you're going to have to try your best to get along with people. And I think I can get along with anybody. I believe I can. So I am running for mayor, and I don't think there's anybody in here can vote for me. I would tell you go ahead and vote too, but that's against the law. You can't do that. But anyhow, thanks a lot, and I want to thank the Chambers of Commerce for holding this and all that's involved, all you guys. I can't call all your name, but thanks a million.